Now wait a minute, you said girls only had these.
I
These
said that. Girls
No.
only have those.
No, you have to earn these babies. No, that's blood. See the blood in that one, and there's sweat on that one right there. And
What's this one for? What's the tree?
the tree is for being an excellent person. No.
Right away. I'd have that one just. We'd have all of them already.
It's for being a chairman of a major event.
Like Garden Guru.
Oh, really? It is.
Like Garden Guru.
Yeah, like Garden Gurus.
Treasure.
You would
And this is for working in the trial garden.
trial garden hours, really. That's one of the hours things. And for being an officer, you get one. For being the president, you get
So
one.
what's
For
the acorn?
the acorn is also for being a chairman of a special event.
Okay.
You've been
Okay.
busy.
Yeah.
That's more than you wanted to know, right? These are Cape Girardeau master gardeners right here.
we
And we're
are.
all going out to eat, and they're going to buy me lunch. No?
Oh, sure. We got an extra chair in the
We
car.
will be back.
No, we're here at Garden Gurus today, and we've got like 40, 50 vendors out there. We got Holly Shimizu, and believe it or not, that's how you pronounce that name.
Shimizu,
And Michael Weishan. He said, that's right, he said that's how you pronounce it.
Okay.
Okay, and we've got plants, flowers, things are blooming out there. This is January, and we've got blooming flowers. Where are y'all going? Get back in here.
Yeah.
Where y'all going?
He's hanging on to me.
The master gardeners of the purchase area are putting this on, and it takes every single person we've got to put on a big show like this. And you're going to see when you get in there and look at all the vendors and how big a massive program this is. And thanks for coming. We've got them from all over the state, in Tennessee, Missouri, Indiana. They're here, and all across Kentucky. Master gardeners. Okay.
Every year.
We've
Okay.
been here several years.
Let's go get it. It's running out of time. As promised, we're here at the Master Gardeners Gurus, the best. Start over. I don't do any practice. This is all impromptu.
Hey, Bud. Look at the camera.
Always look at the camera.
3, 2.
Hello, and here we are at the Master Gardener Gurus, the gardening event of the year. And as promised, we have Michael Weishan here.
Close enough. I knew you weren't going to get that. It's Weishan, but no, what the hey, right?
I promise. Victory Garden, and we're going to talk to him about how did you get started? Oh, we're doing a TV show. Barbara.
You are. I just wanted to be on
She'll do
TV.
anything to get on TV.
This is our surprise guest, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. This is the Laurel Oak Garden Club only charter member.
Right.
Now, okay.
Uh-huh.
Are you here with the
And Master
Laurel Oakers?
Gardener, and
Master
I've got
Gardener.
about 8 coming. So
And she signed me up for Master Gardening. I didn't even know what Master Gardening was, and they called me and said you're on the list. So I went, and that's it.
and look at all those buttons.
Yeah.
I tell you.
Yes.
Charm to the
Mayfield.
max, as they say.
Have fun, Barbara. Okay. Well, Michael, that was a surprise.
That was certainly a surprise.
But that's the way it is here. This is really a great show, and Michael's going to tell us how did you get into gardening? You told me the short story.
You really want the long story?
Yeah.
Well, you know, the secret is I was actually trained in classical archaeology, and that's what I went to school for, classics and Romance languages. And after college, I was working in publishing, and there were a number of people I was managing, and one of the students who was in the divinity school, he was a retired banker, working for me, 20 years old.
Banker,
right?
I like bankers, yeah.
Here I was, like 20 years old, he's working for me for $3 an hour. I never did figure that out. But you know, he was going to be a minister. And he was always late. And my boss was ragging on me, saying, why is he always late? Why is he always late? You have to go speak to this guy. So I said, Alan, why are you late? He said, well, we have this landscaping project, and my wife is driving me crazy about this. The whole backyard's flooded.
That sounds familiar.
And I said, well, you know, Alan, the answer is this, this, and this. And he said, well, how do you know that? I said, well, I've been gardening since I was a kid. He said, well, really? We'll go try it, because we have nothing to lose. Our yard's underwater.
Yeah.
So he came back the next week on time.
For a change.
And that was it. He said, you know what? We fired the contractor, we're hiring you. And that was the beginning, and that was 20 years ago.
Okay.
And I started to do design, and then writing about it, and then TV, and here I am.
Yeah. Well, archaeology, you're digging in the dirt and archaeology, sometime maybe.
Well, exactly.
Yeah, so.
I mean, it's very similar. You know, you learn drafting and plotting and, you know, the basics of design and art history.
Yeah.
So you learn about all this stuff, and eventually I just changed from dead things to living things. And I was gardening. You know, I gardened my grandfather.
Hopefully they're living
since I was a
things.
kid.
Sometimes
Well,
they're dead.
Not in my garden.
Okay.
We have Kip. He keeps us, you know, growing with everything.
Yeah. Well, that's really great. you never know. And we talked earlier. You were 10 years old when Crockett started.
I
the
remember
Victory.
the very first programs.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. The Victory Garden that they were filming then is where the parking lot is now. So I parked my car on sort of the bones of the original Victory Garden. It's kind of sad.
Yeah, but you know what? It was a parking lot first. He dug it up and made a Victory Garden out of it, and then they went back to the
parking lot.
Oh, be
Unfortunately.
darned! I didn't know that. Yeah, Boston. Boston. Yeah, I was really young. I've got every book he ever made. That's what really inspired me was Victory Garden. It was the only one around back then.
Yeah, you know, very few people realize it, but the Victory Garden was the very first of the gardening how-to programs. They invented the whole genre of how-to programming at GBH in Boston. So that was on long before it even predated this old house. So it's the sort of original how-to program.
Yeah, and it was mostly vegetables back then.
Well, that's why it was called the Victory Garden, because, you know, it was right after the Arab oil shock, and they wanted people sort of to get back to the land. There was a great sort of empowerment movement going on. And the idea was, you know, grow your own stuff, self-sufficiency, and so they took the title from the World War II Victory Gardens. And that's how, and we still have it 31 years later. It's our 31st season this year.
Vegetables, and now it's evolved into where vegetables is the minor part now.
Well, we still do a lot of vegetable. I tell you, we have a 100 by 50 foot vegetable garden, and we grow all sorts of things every year in trials. So this year, I think we're doing 20 different tomatoes, for instance. So we grow and see what's going on, and then we report on the website and on the program. So we still do vegetables, but other things too.
And the cast of the Victory Gardens changed so much over the years.
Well, you know, Jim Crockett's long since dead. He died, I think, in the second or third year. He died of cancer. And then Bob Thompson is also dead, and I'm now the fourth one. Roger's still alive and kicking, very
Roger
happy.
Swain, yes, he was in our first Victory.
He was
Gurus.
He's a great gentleman. Hopefully, glad that he's still doing fine, and I'm hoping I'm going to continue on for a bit too. So
now, Jim Wilson, he wasn't a host, but he played a big part in that.
I believe that Jim was on the Southern. He did it from Callaway.
That's right.
The Southern
That's
Victory
right.
Garden.
Yeah.
He's still around. He's a wonderful gentleman. I see him on the lecture circuit periodically.
His email is geezersoandso.com. That's
Hope it's Gardner in there somewhere.
I don't know, but he's really a good individual. I even talk to him on the email every once in a while. We kept in touch.
He's super nice and
and
very
his
knowledgeable.
voice is so great.
Yeah, very melodious.
Yeah. Oh, what are you up to these days? Are you the Victory Garden? You doing anything else?
Yeah, well, we have the brand new Victory Garden book coming out. The very first one in, I'd say, 15 years. A general landscaping guide telling you everything you need to know about your garden. It will be in bookstores on the 1st of April. So
what's the name of it, you think?
It's called I know. It's already printed.
Okay.
It's called the Victory Garden Companion.
Victory Garden what?
Companion.
We got a little background music going over here.
Yeah. Well, it's actually probably me on the television monitor.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, that's the problem.
The Victory Garden Companion, so I'll have to keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, it should be really fun because it's an updated version of the books are now from the original Victory Garden 30 years old. And a lot's changed in gardening in 30 years.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, including what we do in pesticides and landscaping. And so this is a modern volume.
What part do you play in the show? Are you up in Boston still, or are you...
Yeah, no, I'm in Boston, and I just want to say for all your audience that I do some of the work. I do half that work. Everyone's always saying to me, how come kids is always how they're working and you just sort of waltz in and you do what you do? I said, well, it started as a running joke that I would never do any of the work on TV. But the reality is that Kip and I have a division of labor. He does the vegetables and some of the flowers. I do all the ornamental plantings, the orchard, and I mow that huge lawn.
No, you don't.
I do.
Do you?
I do. Well, the horse
That's expensive.
The horse helps me. We have Claudius,
horse.
the horse, eats a lot of it in the pasture. But I do the work 3 days a week. I'm out there full time. So it's not just a pretty face.
Oh, okay.
That's what they tell me. It's like, why are you just...
Now, wait, we haven't talked to Holly yet. No, never mind. Now,
well, that's a prettier face.
How long have you been in Paducah? You been last night you came in?
Last night I came in, and I'm leaving again this afternoon, so it's kind of in and out.
You haven't had a chance to really see what Paducah's all about?
Well, no, and I arrived in a huge snowstorm. I drove down from St. Louis, and they said, oh, you're going to really love the ride. It's very beautiful. It was like a white glove. I saw nothing on either side of the road. White out. For 50 feet, I could see just the side of the road. That was it. So
okay.
I saw nothing coming, and I'm going to leave here at night, and I'm going to see nothing going back.
I was going to ask you how you like Paducah, but you haven't seen any Paducah.
I have seen Broadway.
Broadway, yes.
Broadway, I saw
down to the river.
Down to the river, and that was about it this morning. A little coffee, and back off I go.
Okay, yeah. Well, I hated you had to get because Paducah's really a beautiful town. We've got it's all been renovated downtown.
I saw that part.
Restaurants everywhere, which you probably won't get a chance to visit any of those nice restaurants.
And I finally saw the Ohio. I've been hearing about the Ohio as a kid and how wide the Ohio is. Well, you know what? It's true.
Yeah.
That's a big river.
And then the Tennessee.
No.
Well, we're gonna walk around.
All right.
And
you're gonna talk
see
to
some
Holly
of the
at some
vendors.
point?
Yeah,
All right.
I won't talk to Holly yet. And it's nice to have you. And we'll catch you up on the stage maybe a little later on.
Sounds like a deal.
Okay, thanks a lot, and glad to have you here in Paducah.
My pleasure. My
Okay,
pleasure.
we'll be right back. Let's go. Let's go
right.
do some walking around. Okay, this is the Master Gardener tool section over here. We've done real well with these. We have tools here that you just can't get anywhere else. You don't get them in other catalogs, and you can see we have a heck of a good variety. People come specifically to this event to see the tools. We've got dozens and dozens of vendors. Just about everything you can think of for the garden and the home and landscaping. Hi, how are y'all doing? Hi. Herbs, like we were talking with Holly a while ago. This group does organic herbs. This is the Berry Hill Farm. Briarwood Farms, I'm sorry, but it's the Berry Hills. That's right. Right. I could spend all day looking at the plants and the birdhouses and the seeds. Dan, can you just get a shot of these plants right here? These are some of the plants they went to Louisville last week and got from the KNLA nursery annual event up there. These are not just your normal plants. These are plants that you just can't buy around here. These were brought in by the nurseries. They're what the nurseries are bragging about. So these are the new plants for the year, the plants of the year. This is what their specialties are. So they're not just your normal rhododendrons. These are special rhododendrons, and I don't know right now what's special about each one of them. But these are things you cannot get in Paducah. You just can't go down to the nurseries. Even though our nurseries are some of the best in the country, these plants that they bring back from KNLA are the best. We sell them very reasonably. It's almost 100% profit for the master gardeners. We have our silent auction over here, and I haven't had a chance yet to write my name down on some of these, but I'll hit a bunch of these a little later on after we get done filming. If you can tell, these are still in bloom. This is January. You can't find plants like this in January anywhere else. Oh my. That's a scented geranium right there. You've got plants that are hardy now. This camellia is hardy for this zone, and this has just happened in the last few years. These plants are all Kentucky plants. You can take them home and put them in your garden. They're hardy for Kentucky Zone 7. And by the way, I keep saying that Paducah and the Purchase is Zone 7 as compared to the rest of the states, the Zone 6. Hey, here's our guest speaker right here. Barbara and Dottie. These are judges. These are flower show judges, and I don't have microphones on you, so I can't interview you right now. But yes, but you're on TV for, yeah.
I have a gift for you.
You better.
I do.
You owe me $150. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Can you get some of these? This is artisans craft work, Paducah made by Michelle, Tadpole Pottery. I mean, you can spend the whole day looking at some of this stuff. And the copper works over here, Jim and Kathy Keeney. You all know who those people are. Honey, my gosh. Dan, did you bring your checkbook with you? I did. Tulips blooming in January, they've been forced. I never could do that. I tried that many times, I never was able to do that. There's some tricks, I don't know the trick of the trade on that. Mine all laid down, they weren't worth a crap. And here's, for the birds again over here, everything known to mankind for the birds, bird feeders, bird houses. That's Jesse and Suzanne Yop. Let's go on around the corner here a minute. I know I'm a gardener, you're a gardener, but what is a herb? And it's herb,
Okay.
herb or herb?
It's either one, and you
Okay.
can say herb or herb, and you're correct, because when the word came to America.
Someday, I'll be a ballerina, just like them. And this will be my stage, where I twirl and float and swirl for all the people looking at me. Someday, this won't just be my wish. Someday, I won't be sick.
They've done it again. We've got better vendors this year. We had last year, all the flowers, and you can see behind us all the stuff. I guess you're getting some of that with that. We back here with Holly Shimizu. Is that? I keep thinking
That's
is
good.
that exactly
You did
right?
well. You did well.
I screwed up Michael's name a while ago. We've been walking around and looking at the plants and looking at the. Did you see anything you wanted to bid on? Did you bid on
Absolutely.
the silent auction?
I'm ready. I've got that credit card. I'm ready to roll.
All right.
I am spending money today.
But your plane leaves at noon, so you're gonna have to.
Tomorrow. I've got
Oh,
all
that's
day.
it tomorrow.
It's tomorrow.
I thought, man, we better really get you going here. How are you going to do your talk in a little bit at 1 o'clock if you're leaving at 12?
Exactly.
Okay. And you haven't had a chance to see Paducah yet?
So, not totally, but I'm definitely going to make time today.
Okay. So I can't
Can't
ask
wait
you
to see
either
it.
on how you like Paducah. It's really beautiful. It's a little bitty town that is, not little bitty, but it's a small town. It's renovated the whole downtown by the river. It's a river town now, and restaurants. We've got
Beautiful.
really great restaurants. Yeah. Let's talk about you.
Okay. Well, I am here from Washington, D.C.
Washington, D.C.?
And I work at the U.S. Botanic Garden, which is on the National Mall.
That's right. You're
And
in charge of that garden.
I am. And so it's a wonderful garden. It's open every day of the year.
The United States Botanical,
That's
not the
right.
Missouri, but the United States Botanical Garden.
We're a part of Congress.
Okay.
And we have a huge collection of plants, and we're always coming up with interesting exhibits and displays and ideas to try to get people excited about plants.
Well, this is the #1 garden. You can't move up from here, can you?
Well,
This is
I mean,
maybe
you
the
always
world
can.
garden?
I think you
The
always
world?
can. There's always room for improvement. You know, I always feel like we're just part of getting better, figuring out what are people interested in, what are they going to love, what were they, and that's really fun. That challenge.
Yeah, you're in herbs is one of your specialties.
Herbs is definitely one of my specialties, one of my true loves,
Oh,
and it's probably the plant group I know the most about because I'm interested in plants that have a use. And I like to grow herbs because I like to be able to just walk outside and harvest them, and I use
You
them
cook
in
a lot?
everything. I cook a lot. I make different products. I love to make teas, and I make beauty products, and I do. I mean, and I love fragrance. I love gardening with using the 5 senses.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I'm a gardener. You're a gardener, but what is a herb? And it's herb.
Okay.
Herb or herb?
It's either one, and you
Okay.
can say herb or herb, and you're correct because when the word came to America, the British said it was a herb.
Herb.
And so in some
England. Yeah.
parts of the country, they still say it's herb, but I think you can go either way. And Americanized, it's herb.
Yeah.
Anyway, an herb is a plant that is of use to humans, and that use can be medicine, dye, fragrance, economic value, things used for sources of rubber, oil, fiber, medicine, and all those kinds of uses. But if I had to write a definition because in a flower show there was a question, is a dry flower an herb? And I said, no, a dry flower is not an herb. It doesn't fit the definition. And they said, well, where's the definition? And they said, well, write it. So I did. So it has to have a use beyond ornament.
Okay.
Okay?
But a dried herb could be a
dried herb, like a dried
Yeah.
rosemary,
Yeah.
a dried thyme. But if
Yeah.
it's just a flower that's dried, that's decorative. And decorative does not qualify as herbal.
Okay.
Okay?
But most of us use it in cooking. That's where we hear
Well,
most of it, right?
medicine,
Medicine too?
very important.
I'm sorry, but we don't hear about that, but that is.
That's very important, and we take it for granted, but we shouldn't, okay? A lot of herbs in other parts of the world are critical to human health, and there's still a lot, a sort of a renaissance of interest in this.
I had heard one time like 80 or 90% of all the medicines that you buy, prescription drugs, are made from herbs. Is that right?
It's definitely over 50%,
Yeah.
yes. And our first aspirin came from a plant. It came from the willow tree. And we're still looking, and in fact, some really critically important medicines that are new on the market have come from plants, like the taxus used for breast cancer. There's a tree called the happy tree, which is used for another kind of cancer, so on and on.
Yeah, they're just finally discovering what the
Exactly.
Chinese and the Indians have known for a long time.
It's true. It's
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
And then fragrance. I mean, don't you enjoy the
Oh
fragrance?
my, yes. I've got this rosemary in my greenhouse, a big bunch, and every time I walk in there, I rub up against it, and then the whole greenhouse smells like rosemary.
Exactly.
I love rosemary. Rosemary's one of my favorites.
I love it. Now, I love lemon verbena. I love
Very
sweet
strong.
basil. I love lavender.
You haven't mentioned mints.
I love the mints, but I grow them in containers.
I'll tell you what, they can be dangerous.
No,
they took over a whole garden of mine
Me
one
too.
time.
I've
Yeah.
had, you just let up for a season and all of a sudden they've choked everything else.
Yeah.
So when a plant like a mint is just so invasive, or whatever you want to call it, happy, you got to recognize it might be better off in a container.
Yeah. Well, we haven't talked about how you got started. How did you get in gardening?
Well, I got started
Little child?
Well, when I was little, I think like most of us, I spent a lot of time outside and in a garden. My grandfather had a great garden.
That's where it starts.
With raspberries and parsley and pears and things. And so when it came time to go to college, I'm thinking, I was lost. I had no idea what I wanted to do. I lacked direction. And my mother said, I'm going to take you out to horticulture school and see if you like it. And that was it. I have never looked back.
Oh my! And real quickly, we're running out of short on time. I'm not allowed to say that on TV, am I? But anyhow, we are. Tell me about the Victory Garden. Now, you were Callaway Gardens.
I actually was called a special correspondent to the Victory Garden, and I did that on and off for 12 to 15 years. And I'm not actually working with the Victory Garden now. My job is so crazy and hectic. And so that's keeping me more than busy. Plus my 2 kids.
Only 2 kids.
So
Okay.
yeah, I'm a busy person, but I love it. I love it. Gardening is my profession, but it's also my personal passion.
Well, thanks for taking the time out to come here to Paducah today.
I'm thrilled to be
and,
here.
Garden Gurus.
Thank
Like I said,
you.
we've had about, I think you're the 4th or 5th person from Victory Garden,
Yes.
or that family.
I think so.
Yes.
I think so. We're a pretty big family.
And I'm going to go out and buy some more plants.
Me too.
I haven't put my name on any of those lists yet.
I've got to get out there.
Let's go do
Okay.
it. Okay. Thanks a lot. All right. Papa's porch. Hey, you get your back turned to us. I saw that. I saw that with a quickie.
Dan said I could.
Yeah. We have Papa's porch here every year, and then also at the spring sampler, right?
That's
You come to the
right.
spring sampler? Okay. Try to get all these. Somebody will hang me. We got to get them all. T-shirts.
Yes.
T-shirts, sweatshirts. Yeah, we can't hear you because we don't have a microphone. Okay. Flowers these are real flowers, but they're dried. Oh my goodness. And this is Timberbrook.
Actually, it's Timber View.
Timberview.
Yeah, they did the sign.
They said the sign wrong.
Yeah, that's okay.
I wasn't involved in the sign making.
Well,
I promise.
That's okay.
These are beautiful. Do you do these? They can't hear you, but you can tell me. You make these yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, she makes these herself. All right. This is Eads over here. This is Eads Landscaping. They're one of our nursery sponsors, along with 5 or 6 other sponsors that we'll get to here in a minute. Hi. And this is the back side of the silent auction. Sally Wilkins, she's one of the originals. I think she had her classes in 1932, right, Sally? No. Bad? Okay. Garden tools. Look at that one. I need one of those. A clean one?
This trowel's about 7 years old.
That's 7 years, last forever.
Stick them in the ground, let go of it. Open
Okay.
your hand, push it sideways.
Oh my gosh.
Plant behind it, backfill
You
it.
seeing how to put how that was? You stick it sideways, put the plant in, pull it back up. They can't hear you, but
Any day, in
Yeah.
soil, not with your fingers.
stick that in there. Don't cut your finger off, Tammy.
Regrade,
Yeah.
split and divide. Does not lose-
All right, long necker.
I make a license.
All right. Look at all this aluminum. That's what I need in my garden right there. I have everything. Pat, are you back out here again? Are you gonna get? Garden Gurus. This is Metropolis, Illinois. Oh my, over here, Dan. Oh, okay. I thought maybe that was hooked on there. That's like a mushroom. Hypertufa. Now, these are really good hypertufas. I've tried to make some. What are you doing over here? Master gardeners. Hypertufa.
Appreciate the compliment.
Hi. Farmbrook. We did this as a project one time in one of our garden classes, and she does a real good job. But these, you've been doing this a long time. I can tell. You can see the skill involved in this.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. And you have molds, some of the molds for some of these? Okay. And where exactly is your shop at?
A little north of Detroit.
Little north of Detroit. We've got to go to Detroit. Uh-oh.
Detroit, dear.
You got to come.
Royal Oak.
So you've got to come to the Grooves to get those things. You can't go all the way to Detroit. This is the Graves County lady, and husband and son does this. This is birdhouses.
You don't even know what it is, do you?
What? This is looks like birdhouses. The nannies, and he does all the work, and she has all the fun traveling around, right? No?
Got it.
No. He said he did all the work. I can't get by that because she does most of it. And these are bromeliads. Oh my gosh. Or air plants, bromeliads. Look at these. And the name of your shop is?
Plant oddities.
Plant Oddities. Paducah, Mayfield, Benton. Aren't those something? My bromeliads don't look like that. They look really ugly, bromeliads. Those are beautiful. And here we have a little bit of everything. We've got the stepping stones, flowers. Oh my gosh, that doesn't even look real. Tammy, that doesn't look real. Look at that. And a hydrangea with all different colors on the same plant. Oh my. This is Gateway Nursery. This is the Kornbachers, and they are also one of our sponsors. They're both taking the Master Gardener class.
We're right here. We're right here.
And yeah.
I'm right here.
I'm right here. Well, Rusty and your Dusty and Paul. Yes, Kornbacher.
They're at lunch, so.
Yeah. They've and I haven't got a microphone on, so they can't hear you. But I'm close friends with them. They're Master Gardeners, and they're some of our sponsors.
Alex, so.
Oh, you come back to help them?
Yeah.
Now you're talking. All right. And this is the Walls Nursery, and they've done a lot of this work. When we had our interview with Holly and Michael, they did the area where we did the interview, and you can see they've really put on a show here. They're one of our big sponsors. Hey, I saw, get back over there. Chuck and Pam are here today. They both have taken the Master Gardener class. They're both very, very active Master Gardeners. They also have a place there on their nursery where you can have garden club shows and meetings. If you need a meeting place and you can't find one, give them a call. Oh, I got competition, Tammy. Can you hear me? Okay. Well, I'm gonna try to make it over here before the show starts on the stage. I'll be right back. This is the auction. I love this stuff. Can you hear that back there? That's Winston Dunwell is helping us with this auction. He's from Princeton. I hate it. The show's almost over. We've seen all these great booths and all these Master Gardener events and the book sale and all. But we have this every year, every January, the second weekend in January. The Garden Gurus, Master Garden Gurus. Come next year. If you missed this one, you got to come next year. This is Bud Qualk. Good gardening. Sold American.
That was good, bud. That's good.
I learned that in grade school.